of sheer cold, even when they were in
Negócio brilhando aqui. Mas que isso?
Was shade. I think
Pegar, pegar isso aqui, ó.
to allow for sheer
Beleza.
cold to even get
É só isso mesmo que eu ia pegar?
at the beginning. It's interesting to me because shade has classically not been a great ball,
radinho.
but in
Por que eles levam sub-4 dedos? Não
seems
entendi.
like shade has really
Não, acaba aqui.
rocketed to relevance on this hero, and that shows a really good capacity for learning that is a great indicator
Achar um lugar que
of
tem.
advantage.
Tem que achar um lugar que tem janela aqui. Se eu adotar, Fernandinha, vai rolar uma promoção aqui. Será que se eu pular ele morre, velho? Eu não quero testar não, porque eu tenho que buscar um mecânico, velho. Filha da puta, meu irmão.
And I think often enough you might see Lulsish and Shade be the first one to die, and you don't want to flame them immediately to be the first one to die, because often enough they will sacrifice themselves to go those few meters deeper, to put those
Eu não vou sair não,
right in
fica
the middle of the
tranquilo.
team, because you know, even leg day you mauled it a little bit about somebody running into those mines. Yeah, you can try and capitalize on that stupidity.
That's how you get the dub. You go a little bit deeper. The mines get into more compromising positions, and a rallying Brigitte might just go ooh shiny and walk into one. That's life sometimes. That's like yep. Over.
Esse aqui é caralho, velho.
According to our map set, is going to be where we're heading next. No surprises
Ele sofreu.
here. Question is,
Ele sofreu, mas ele teve
Young and Beautiful
bom
into a sniper duel against Grafton with Jonah. I know that Jonah likes his Widowmaker, but I think I personally give
double tap.
You know, I think
Como é que faz pra três
came
pra
into
aqui?
this team who saw Young and Beautiful trying
Meu irmão,
to be a
véi.
team that reacts and adapts their
É o
composition
double kill, caralho.
to the other team. You saw in Trials they played so many different compositions, but IQB just went up and said, just play your best hero. Be on the hero that you're most comfortable on, and let things go from there. And you saw how much more successful Gab has been because of that. So I think, Jonah, you dodge the Widow, you stick on your Tracer, and you just try and flank and go after the Widow that way. But with the Sheer Cold will be attacking first. Young and Beautiful, or maybe the other way around. I would think that, anyway, Young and Beautiful attacking first, I guess. Either way, now that means that Grafton on the Widow is going to have so much room at the very back of point A to hide in, so it's going to be really hard for the offense to close that gap.
I quite like the middle ground. And then we might have fans onto this if they put Yikid onto this hand, because this allows you to continuously contest Grafton on that Widowmaker, make sure that those angles aren't free, while allowing Jonah to continue tearing things up on the Tracer. And I think that that's a happy middle ground for Young and Beautiful. Backbone on the Genji is interesting. Backbone here, I wonder if they're going to play the kind of bodyguard for Grafton and try and duel Jonah when the distance is eventually closed by that Tracer.
And I like this hybrid setup of at least having a sniper and then a Tracer, because as the Widow, who are you going to look at? It's going to be, are you going to be trying to track down where Jonah is, or are you going to try to win that duel against your kids? And it's up to Backbone to at least call out where Jonah is and to help with that frontline duel. So Sheer Cold all the way around this corner. It's going to be one fight for point A. Young and Beautiful not contested. They're fighting for this high ground your kids already have. Dodges the accretion, which was important, as Young and Beautiful, they have their Tracer and Mega Pack room. They're going to follow up with Lulsish on the Hammond, who's trying to displace Sheer Cold. They have them in the right corner. So you see Sheer Cold are starting to turtle up. Their supports were exposed. So Alex not able to defend Looser. Refin can't find a res. He's trying to pocket Grafton, who I don't think has killed anything this fight. So Young and Beautiful, they easy up at point A.
And that personally, nothing in that room was so good because the tactical shield would block out the entirety of Grafton's frontline. The rest was blocked by physical cover, so the flanks wouldn't really work out, and Grafton could not get a good angle in time to do any damage. They forced a single DPS fight from Sheer Cold while they were able to use both of theirs. Young and Beautiful have now moved over onto a full dive sort of Genji Tracer setup for their DPS, while Grafton's they're playing Soldier Genji. Is this a Mad Lib or a composition? This is quick
Think
play.
it'll work? I'm a little bit worried. I'm still running the Zen. Like, sometimes you like the Ana. You know, we've seen how many Dragon Blades have flopped without the Ana Nana boost, and I'm just someone who likes the insurance. I'm not really much of a gambler myself. I know I live in Vegas, but young and beautiful, gonna have to take a gamble on not giving the Nano and only having a Zen and Break for heals. So his poking phase can turn deadly very quickly, but getting halfway to point B. At what point is Sheer Cold gonna initiate? At what point are they gonna pull the trigger? They're letting Young and Beautiful set up behind them, and Young and Beautiful are controlling the pace of these fights.
Also, ideally would knock someone off into Jonah's waiting arms. For now, Jonah's not being overly effective, but now they've got Shade in their sights. That could change. Gets the big stick. They're going to be able to take him out, and now that's the main initiator for Sheer Cold elsewhere. Still, the mainstay of the team, not in too much danger until Lolshus gets in there very, very deep with the Discord, or will survive.
And that's scary for the Hammond because you have 2 CCs, you have the accretion of the Sigma and the Shield Bash, so he's very lucky that Alex wasn't already charging up an accretion because Lolsish could have been dead, and he's going to try and gamble this one again. At least your kid's removed for Young and Beautiful. They can try and push this. They got the mines right in front of the card, so Sheer Cold turtled up at the end as Jonah is flanking. He wants to try and spawn camp some of the DPS, and he gets punished in the process. Meanwhile, in the frontline duel, Young and Beautiful, the mines from Lolsish helped out, and they got a last-minute Dragon Blade, but it's from the defense at 1 HP. Backbone gets slammed down like a pancake, and Young and Beautiful gets through to point B.
Lots of shout here like Oprah. You get a pancake and you get a pancake. Poor Backbone brought out the blade, but it was just limply flinging around a pool noodle. That was not a well-made katana.
The dance begins.
I'm surprised he's sticking on the Genji, to be honest, now that that ultimate has been used. What's a real win con here for him? Jonah had the attention of both Backbone and Grafton in the back for so long, but it allowed Lolsish to get a huge amount of follow-up on that minefield. Ike's going to try and open up, grabs 2 in the flux.
I like that he also hid behind the pillar, so there was no chance that Happy Cool could accretion and try to cancel that ultimate, and that was just such a huge dent in the health pools of Young and Beautiful, and without a brig, there was a brig of Sheer Cold still alive. Their resource balance heavily favoring the defense, and now you got Attack Visor. Grafton at least forced down to the low ground, and that's thanks to Lolsish. He did manage to walk away with 1 as Happy Cool was too low to disengage, and Young and Beautiful were able to trade a little bit back and forth and don't necessarily want to leave this situation as the poke at range is starting to tilt this fight in their favor, and Sheer Cold got to get ready for the end of the map.
Mega Pack either was not there or was not enough. Jonah still holding on to his pulse and wants to put it in a very fruitful position, ideally onto Lucer or Refid. Refid here would be the ideal. If you can get rid of that rally with a stick, that's a real MVP play, but you could also force the trance. Lolsish catches too much poke, and at this point, do not invest. You can't use anything. It's over.
And the silver lining for Young and Beautiful is that Sheer Cold used Rally, so you don't have to worry about that. You got double support ultimates coming up, and 3 minutes and 10, Young and Beautiful have barely lost a fight through this whole map, it feels like.
And it does. Sheer Cold will have to hold on for a long time here, but we've seen the same happen on King's Row C. Young Beautiful lost 3.5 minutes on that particular point, but already they're in quite a winnable position, even if they were to surrender the attack right here. They've got fairly far. Sheer Cold on the high ground here will have an excellent position for Grafton, Lucer, and Refid to remain vaguely inassailable. It's incredibly hard to dive into a Sigma and a Soldier.
So Young and Beautiful pushing as a team, and Skyrim was transcendent this time. I don't know about that phone. That was a huge pulse bomb. That just killed the attack for Young and Beautiful.
I may have seen wrong, but I feel like they stuck Lolsish, and Lolsish was like, guys, can you come and have a look at this? It's just slightly. It was pain. It was pain the entire time. I might be mischaracterizing him though.
It's a grenade. No, put it down. But Young and Beautiful back on the cart. All right, 2 minutes. It's going to be the rally started versus the Transcendence of Sheer Cold, but the defense already losing 1 as they turtle up around Dola and his healing. The Transcendence allows the Young and Beautiful to stay anchored, and it lets Jonah come alive. He hits the pulse bomb and he hits those shots. Sheer Cold missing in action, and Young and Beautiful got minute 46 in the time bank.
Huge counterattack performance there by Young and Beautiful. A really well executed Gravitic Flux, catching out Sheer Cold and punishing their aggression, punishing the confidence they had in trying to grab those staggers. This is a very winnable map for them now. But Sheer Cold on their attack is where they're going to shine. Remember, they chose to go to Junkertown. They believe in the Grathan Widow. And it's a little bit easier to avoid the Grathan Widow on the attack when you can make your rotations compared to the defense where, well, Grathan's going to be able to make his own rotations and play to his own, to the beat of his own drum. He'll be able to take his own timing.
Widowmaker pick is such a risk, right? We saw that Grathan used this amazing Widow, but when they had him on the Widow on the defense, I don't think there was a pick unless they missed it, and then Young and Beautiful, they knew with the composition of the Tracer Hanzo, they could push in and send their Hammond on the and their Tracer is on this huge flank and start pressuring that backline. And what did that do? It forced Sheer Cold all the way almost inside of point B, and all you had was Refit and Grathan. So there wasn't anything they could do. They almost should have left just as early as the rest of the team did. So you're seeing how, you know, a better Widow doesn't necessarily mean that your team will be better on Junkertown.
The dance begins.
Indeed, it does not, Lemon. Nice little canister from which to take a breather there. I wonder what gives him 50% damage reduction. I wonder what the chemistry of the Roadhole Take a Breather is. This is the lore we really need. If we can get the attention of Jeff Kaplan for this wanting, this need, really, that would be fantastic. Grathan for now is going to be going up against the double sniper here, so it could be fairly difficult to take this as a Widowmaker. You've got to worry about two separate angles. When you're trying to outkill one sniper, that's when the other will get you. Backbone's going to be more of a harassing force for him. Being able to move easily between verticalities with Genji with the wall climb is essential for harassing snipers.
Jonas is all the way in the most safe position you could be as Widow. Sometimes they like to play in the open field, and he finds that pick, and that's the setup. The pile driver from Lolstish pushes them all up. Alex with the shield not in time, and at least they didn't really push into that first pick, so the res was fully available for Refit. Sheer Cold back at full force. Once they start pushing this T-zone, you can see maybe Grathan getting a better line of sight onto someone like Jonah, but Lolstish is making it so hard to get on the court, and that's a great shot from Grathan. And now he's going to look down on those supports, but the shield of Happy Cold stands in his way. He's just going to jump above it. He gets the second tick, and Nikid is too scared to challenge.
Nikid's now going to go after that Zenyatta. Uses the Storm Arrow, but hasn't hit that many yet. Going to try and take out the Mercy, but the accuracy simply isn't there. But it is, if you happen to be called looser. Even with Alex being knocked off the map by Lolsish, still Sheer Cold can push the Storm forward, but it's nowhere near as fast as it was for Young and Beautiful. There's still potential for a final fight here. Jonah's already found position. Happy Cool's going to be able to contest the cart with the shield. They can send over the location of Grathan and send Jonah to harass.
Yeah, Young and Beautiful can play this slow as long as they keep an eye on where Grathan is, because he's looking at you. He's got the infra sight, and you see that Backbone to the right. He's chasing down someone, but then the Brigitte got in the grip, so Backbone got shield bash, and that's just great peel. They know they have to protect you kids as Transcendence meets the Minds